It's the 2K Show.
Hello, basketball fans. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, two teams start fresh for their first game of the season, both squads believing this will be a great year. And it is Raptor basketball tonight as the Toronto Raptors go up against the Indiana Pacers. Taking a look at the Pacers, they're excited to be back out on the floor for game number 1 of the season, and I don't think anyone has doubts that they want to send a strong message tonight and tip off the new season with a win. And another NBA season about to start. Shaq, we've talked about it. You can feel, an air of excitement that's a little different than in years past.
There's a number of talented teams all wanting that ring. I've said this before. Kenny has said it many times. It could be one of the best seasons we've seen in a while, including what Golden State did last year in winning the ring.
That was an incredible run. But some teams that looked unstoppable last year will start to show some cracks in their armor. But the other teams that didn't look like much on paper last year, beginning of the season, are now looking like they will surprise.
And that is it for now as we send you to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports Group.
The Air Canada Centre is filled to capacity. Welcome, everyone, to a brand new season of NBA basketball. I'm sure you're as excited as all of us are here at 2K Sports as we get ready to start the season in style. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, joined by my partners, Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. You can feel the energy here at Air Canada Centre. The Raptors looking to please their fans in this Eastern Conference matchup. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. And so in the game for the Pacers, George Hill out there with Ellis. Then it's Turner. Then it's Paul George. And it's Allen in at the power forward position.
Tell you what, Monte Ellis is one of the best second-round draft picks of all time in the league, not just the last decade. I mean, this guy was a 5-star recruit out of high school, committed to college, but changed his mind and entered the draft, where the Warriors stole him with the 40th pick in 2005.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
I was able to speak with Dwayne Casey for a moment. A key concern for his side is how to keep Monte Ellis from running amok on their defense. He said there are very few players in the league who can take a sliver or a seam in a defense and turn it into 2 points as efficiently as Monte Ellis does. He said one step and he's at the rim. We have to move our feet as a unit or he'll get to the rim all game long. Guys?
Thanks a lot, Doris. Here's Ellis after the made shot from Jonas Valanciunas. Here's Turner. So timeout called here, the first for Indiana. This, of course, their first chance to take a look at this year's Toronto squad.
Yeah, and this game kicks off a 4-game season series between the two teams.
2 conference foes, guys, looking to take game 1 tonight. It'll be very interesting to see who can land the first blow.
And there's the feed to Ellis. Just 4 to shoot. Here's George. They grab their own miss. Allen kicks to George. Ellis dishes to Turner. Outside for George. Shoots over Carroll. That doesn't go either for George.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
And Damari Carroll with the 3. Carroll's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. For Indiana, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And here's Ellis for 3. Good. The assist goes to Hill.
Yeah, poor job defensively, giving him such a clear look at the basket from three-point range.
Lowry against Ellis. Got a piece of it and taken away by Ellis. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. Monte Ellis has always had a knack for the big shot. When things are on the line, he is a guy that is not afraid to step up.
And Kevin, last season, he had a number of big second halves and fourth quarters for the Mavs. Really took over that primary scoring role from Dirk Nowitzki. Stole a lot of games for them last season.
Screened by Valanciunas. Tries it from the top of the key. And it's DeRozan missing.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense. Yeah, Monte did have a lot of big second halves for the Mavs last season. Seems like at least half a dozen games for them, he would just take over. Started to get looked at as the top go-to guy late.
Screen by Scola. Outside Lowry. 5 to shoot. Paul George with the steal. Hill passes to George and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
And for Monte, it makes sense to go to him late in games. He's so fast that he can create a shot anytime he wants. And very rarely does he not give you a chance to win with just one shot remaining.
And he makes the first.
And we all know about Paul George and his injury while with Team USA. I mean, he has still said that he would consider playing international ball.
And George drops them both. For George to be eager to go back and represent the U.S. in international play is a brave move.
Yeah, I think, Kevin, a lot of it might be that he just wants to put that in the past and move on. And sometimes you do that best by confronting things head on. The only way to have that.
Now here is Hill, following the miss by Kyle Lowry. And the rejection by Valanciunas. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Valanciunas. And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Here's Ellis. Puts the move on. Oh, trying for it. 3 on the clock. Here's Turner. Indiana again missing.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Rosen dishes to Valanciunas. Pass to Kill. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. Ellis against DeRozan. And again, Toronto no up. And here's Indiana. Good momentum, 8 straight points. Turner with a screen for George.
That's a jump ball.
And so here is Indiana. Allen kicks to Ellis. Clock at 6. Gets it to fall from the right block. Ellis has got 8 points. Raptors trail by 7. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
Now here is Hill. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. And the Pacers call time here.
Put your hands together for your dance pack. Give your dance pack some love, fans. Come on, give it up.
Here's Allen. On the wing, Hill. And that one's good. Hill's got his first bucket in this one.
Nice job getting inside for the layup. Got the D thinking. Jump shot. Gave a little pump fake. And then off to the races.
DeRozan against Ellis. And DeRozan. Here we go. Here's Valanciunas. A second chance effort. And it's DeRozan missing.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
The shot by George, no good.
And boy, has he been struggling big time here in the quarter.
Yeah, he's played tight. I mean, you can see it. No flow at all to his game right now.
No problems knocking that one down. Carroll's got a pair of threes now in the first quarter for Toronto. Pacers leading by 4. Outside Hill. George passes to Turner. The shot's good on the assist by George.
Assist from
Turner's got his first bucket of the night.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should continue to work the ball down low, Clark. It's really going to free up their outside shooting.
Lowry from outside, and the rebound goes to the Pacers.
And for a long time now, Indiana has protected the rim. It's one of the core elements of their defense and why they are so strong on D every year.
Raptors trail by 6. Rosen dishes to Lowry. Back to DeRozan. From the top of the key, and that's good for 2.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Outside Hill. It's George on the wing. Carroll covering. And the rejection by Valanciunas. And so it looks like the Pacers will retain possession here. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Toronto. Ross comes in for DeMar DeRozan. Indiana also making some changes. Mahimi comes in for Turner. And it's Hill in for Allen. Shot clock at 6. And George kicks to Mahimi. Nice D from Valanciunas.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
Ross passes to Valanciunas. And it's sent back by Hill. Ellis kicks to George. Good, and the assist goes to Ellis. And the Pacers lead by 6.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, but that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
Joseph, he's checked in for Kyle Lowry. Then for the Pacers, C.J. Miles comes in for George. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for Ellis. And the Raptors with the ball. To the middle. Here's Valanciunas.
And that kind of defense ain't going to get it done.
Gee, we don't see those kinds of dunks out of him all the time, but we know he's got it in him.
There's no doubt about that, fellas. I mean, the more finishes like that he gets, the more his confidence will grow.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. Raptors trail by 4. Carroll kicks to Joseph. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Indiana foul. C.J. Miles. First personal foul. Teams first.
And the Raptors with some changes. Biombo, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. And it's Johnson in for DeMar Carroll. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Pacers.
Guys, right from the start, it's been apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
Now here's Stuckey. Hill inside. Patterson's there. Some nice passing here by Indiana. Hill left side. And stolen by Patterson. And oh, here we go. Joseph's got it. The fast break chance. And it's sent back by Hill. Here's Miles. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
And Toronto has possession. The Pacers making the shot. Stuckey with it. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Here's Hill. And the defense really pressing up on him. Made that a tough shot. Raptors trail by 3. Pass to Ross. Feeds to Joseph. Down low, just 5 to shoot. And then Biyombo with the dunk.
You know, he might be small for a center, but it doesn't really matter because he can jump out of the building.
And guys, Bismack Biyombo, he got into a groove at the end of last season. After Al Jefferson went down, remember the month of April, he averaged nearly 9 rebounds a game, 2.5 blocks. He was all over the floor.
Yeah, and that's Bismack. I mean, he's that guy. He cleans the glass for you, intimidates shooters in the lane. He's not all the way consistent yet, but he's shown steady improvement.
Now Joseph. George Hill missing on the 3. Patterson a screen on Hill. Now here's Joseph. He's guarded by Hill. Ross with a wide open look. Nailed from three-point land. And the Raptors lead by 2.
Talking about Bismack Biyombo, he entered the league as an extremely raw prospect. Was a 7th pick in 2011. His shot and general awareness were the biggest concerns. But last season, he shot over 60% from the floor. The 2 seasons before that was only 45%.
Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3-ball with one of their own.
Greg, we've got a 3-point battle taking shape here.
Here's Ross. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Textbook. Really, when you look at how they're playing, they are having their way down low.
Miles, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
And getting back to Biyombo for a moment, he has the potential for a breakout year. I mean, all the physical tools you would want. He's seen enough of the game. He's worked on those skills. Now it's time to just put it all together and become the player your potential dictates.
And the first one drops. And for C.J. Miles, he sure can string together a long line of threes under the league with a nice jump shot that has now become deadly.
Yeah, he doesn't get to the free throw line much, and he's not really much of a playmaker, but he's 3D in color. HD 3D.
And talking about C.J. Miles, he was filthy last year. Indiana needed his spark offensively, especially without Paul George in the lineup. Miles responded by putting up career highs in points and minutes played. Just an unbelievable impact on the season. .112 left in the first quarter. Johnson kicks to Joseph. Kicks it out to Johnson. All alone. And he can't bank that one in.
And for most every team out there, guys, they're looking for a guy like C.J. Miles. Decent size, natural movement skills, and can absolutely shoot the lights out. Call him buckets because that's a lethal formula.
Now here's Johnson after Jordan Hill's miss. Ross on the wing. He has 5. And a strong finish with 2 hands. Guys, 7 times the lead has changed hands here now.
And we still aren't halfway through this contest yet.
Yeah, and that number should easily top double figures before it's over.
Now here is Hill. He has 5. The shot by Mahinmi, no good.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
There's a good screen. Now here's Joseph. He's guarded by Hill. And the rejection by Mahinmi. Jumps up. And then Miles with the dunk.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
One quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Pacers out in front, leading by a point. We'll be back shortly live from the Air Canada Centre in downtown Toronto. And power forward Patrick Patterson, getting better every season. He said that his college career at Kentucky really helped prepare him for his life as a pro. Patterson Clark, exactly the guy he says he is, and that's why he's one of those glue guys you've got to have on your team.
Yeah, Velcro valutility, I call him, the kind of guy who his teammates just love. I mean, they know he's always going to have their back, and he's always going to work hard. He's going to do what he's supposed to do and be where he's supposed to be and do it when he's supposed to do it.
Up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And let's quickly break down the game, guys, we have seen from Indiana. What do you think?
You always like it when your team doesn't settle for outside shots, and that's been the case here early on.
Yeah, I agree with you. They've done a nice job, Greg, working it low and not taking the easy way out on offense, keeping that pressure on the defense by going inside.
Lowry and DeRozan are the guard tandem. Jamari Carroll is out there with Scola, and it's Valanciunas in at center. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Now here's Allen. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Allen's got his second basket.
And back and forth we go. That bucket gives us another lead change.
Too many of those to count. These teams have matched each other shot for shot, play for play. It has been impressive.
Marky talked about a back-and-forth game. This is the definition of that.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Kevin. I mean, not even through the first half, and it's been one heck of a battle.
You have to love these kinds of games, scoring-wise, keeping everybody on their toes.
Here's Hill after Luis Scola's score. George with the ball. Now guarded by DeRozan. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Ellis can't get it to go.
You know, Dwayne Casey was once a player at Kentucky, took me and hosted me on my recruiting visit at Kentucky back in 1979. Actually got his coaching start at the school as well.
Here's Scola. And they convert it last on attempt number 3. Scola's got the lead up to 3 now for the Raptors. Lowry against Hill. He kicks to Allen. And George, here we go, uses the glass to finish the layup. George has got 6 points. As we were talking about Coach Dwayne Casey, he's found his place in Toronto. Took them, Greg, to back-to-back postseason appearances.
You know, it's good to see him finally establishing himself as a head coach. Really known as a defensive specialist, but once he gets in charge of a team, he'll have them focused on defense and really stresses that in every practice.
Now here's Ellis. 8 points for him. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line. The Pacers have been on target from the free throw line. They're 5 of 5 in that department.
And going back a season ago, they were a pretty average team at the line, about 76% altogether.
The Pacers making a switch here. Hill's checked in. That one misses for Monte Ellis. Well, last year Toronto won their division and got bounced out in the first round. Same result, Clark, they had back in 2014.
Yeah, but, you know, despite that sameness, they were an improved team last season, Kevin. They did a lot of the small things better in total, and I thought looked better and more cohesive as a group.
Here's Hill. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. George has got his 3rd assist on the night. Raptors trail by 4. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
And Lowry has it in the corner. They need this. And off the front iron, and in it goes.
And as you mentioned, the Raptors did improve last season. I mean, they cut back on their turnovers a lot. They were top 3 in the league in terms of taking care of the basketball.
Hill has the open look. Off target with his 3. Toronto's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. DeRozan dishes to Lowry. Back to DeRozan. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Kyle Lowry with a beautiful setup.
Indiana's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter.
And as you said, the Raptors took care of the ball a lot better and as a result had more assists. They also cut back on their fouls, and that was helpful. Little things like that made them much more competitive as a team and helped lead them to those 49 wins.
And a fast break now for the Pacers. And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That'll be his second foul of the game.
He's jammed himself up a little bit here with that second foul. But as long as he can avoid a third before the half, I think he's fine.
And so it's Indiana with it. Hill passes to Turner. It's stolen by Valanciunas.
And you saw him gauging that pass there. He knew they were coming inside with it and got in position for the steal.
Ellis kicks to Allen. Hill sets the screen for Allen. It's George on the wing. Now recovering. Allen. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. George has got his 4th assist in this one. Toronto's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Valanciunas with a screen on Ellis. DeRozan in the corner. Passes it to Valanciunas. 5 to shoot. And Allen with the block. And now the fast break. Hill with the ball. And it's George finishing it off.
Great hustle to turn the block shot into a fast break hoop. That's a big-time play.
Raptors trail by 4. Lowry dishes to DeRozan. Valanciunas with a screen on Hill. And a wide-open look for Valanciunas. No good off the back of the rim. The Pacers have gone 6 of 9 in the second quarter. Some good work from the field. That doesn't go either for George.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
It's stolen by DeRozan. Looking to get it going. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Great anticipation and awareness to come up with the steal and trigger the fast break.
And now just a one-possession game thanks to that quick hitter. Outstanding play in the open court.
Put your hands together for your dance time.
Guys, we have seen them with a lot of good ball movement.
Well, you like the smooth operating they're showing you here. I mean, things are clicking, and more importantly, it makes them tough to defend.
Clark, what you know about Sade? Smooth operator. But I agree with you. I think we're all seeing that right now.
Yes, indeed.
And Lowry gets it to go. And a chance now to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for Toronto.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunities. They're really keeping it up-tempo so far.
And here's George. Following Kyle Lowry's 3, knocks it loose. It's DeRozan top of the key. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Now it's a 3-point Toronto lead. What about Kyle Lowry on offense? The last 2 seasons, he's been absolutely dominant.
Yeah, he's developed enough as a point guard now to where he really knows how to direct and lead his team. He's not just a catalyst anymore. He's a leader, and that's the big difference I see with him. And his shot has become more refined.
He dishes it to Valanciunas. Off the left rim and out.
The defense did a really good job of choking off the middle there once he got inside.
Now, here's Lowry. 5 points in the game. On the wing, DeRozan. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Thing about DeMar DeRozan, he came into the league fairly unpolished. Struggled to handle the ball. Created then his own shot. And but sometimes he would create for others too. Yeah. But he's settled down. You can see the growth.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. You could see the physical talent was there in terms of him playing the 2. The question was, could he make the commitment mentally to become a great player? Well, from what he's done the last few years, I would have to say he's definitely been able to do that.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Biombo, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Patterson comes in for Luis Scola. Terrence Ross is checked in for Damari Carroll. And it's Joseph in for Kyle Lowry.
And, you know, getting back to DeRozan, he's put a spit shine on his offense. Over the past 2 seasons, averaged over 20 points a game, was also good for 3 or 4 assists, showing everybody how work ethic can overcome unrefined skills.
Now, here's Joseph after Jordan Hill's miss. Patterson, the screen. All alone. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast. Here is Stuckey. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one.
You know, for DeMar DeRozan, scary to think that he's still scratching the surface of his potential. Made his first All-Star appearance in 2014. Was a little dinged up last year, but still very effective. No doubt he's the real deal.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush.
You know, for the Pacers last season, with Paul George being out for most of the season, they knew it would be a struggle. They would go into lengthy dry spells that made it hard for them to keep pace in the East, in part because they missed Paul George's all-around brilliance and his offense.
George Hill's checked in for Hill. DeMar DeRozan hits them both. As for those dry spells you mentioned about the Pacers, GA, they had a number of long losing streaks last season.
Yeah, as a team, they had 4 different losing streaks of 6 or more games, and they got hot at the end. Season-high win streak of 6 to stay playoff relevant. It was just too little, too late compared to their losing streaks earlier in the year.
Pacers trail by 9. Outside Hill. Rebound by the Raptors. Patterson's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Joseph. He's got 5. Biombo, the pass to Ross. 6 on the shot clock. Takes the 13-footer. Again, Toronto. Here's Hill. He's got 5. The dish to Miles. And there's a foul. It goes on C.J. Miles. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
Excellent example of toughness and physicality on defense. Got his nose right in the middle of things and made a play.
James Johnson's checked in for the Raptors. And Joseph kicks to Patterson. Down low, here's Ross. Terrence Ross, an explosive young player who can really put on a show. Clark, jaw-dropping, highlight reel dunks are his specialty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tremendous athlete, great bounce and elevation and creativity. Won the slam dunk contest as a rookie.
Terrence Ross. 2 shots.
First one falls for him.
And Terrence Ross showed fantastic development in his 2nd season, but really took a step back last year. All of his shooting percentages were down. He exuded confidence, but still at times just could not buy a basket.
And both free throws good for Ross.
Really an extraordinary game for Ross. He's got 11 points, and he's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
And Clark, I'm sure that won't be the last one. A lot of times he can get hot and stay hot from beyond.
Well, back to Terrence Ross, Greg, you're talking about him. It's so easy for a young player to lose his way a little after coming on so fast. Clark, I'm not surprised that he's had a few bumps in the road along the way.
That's part of the development and growth process, Kevin. You've seen it with a lot of guys. His upside, though, is great.
Here's Joseph. Following the basket by George Hill. 11 feet away. Shot by Joseph. No good. Pacers trail by 11. To the wing right side. And here's Miles outside. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Hill's got his 3rd assist on the night. And here's Toronto. They're on a 19-7 run. Now here's Joseph. He's got 5. Dishes it to Biombo. Ross against Stuckey. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
You know, I can think of one way to describe George Hill. It's the culmination of several attributes. I mean, he comes from the school of Popovich, plays under control, always in the right place defensively. The way I describe him is just steady.
The Raptors have made the most out of their opportunities at the line. They have yet to miss in 7 attempts.
Yeah, and 79% from the line as a team a season ago. Pretty reliable in that regard.
And you can't take those numbers lightly, fellas. I mean, their free throw shooting made a difference for them in a lot of their games last season.
And he sinks the second. An interesting thing about George Hill, he was traded from the Spurs to the Pacers a few years back. Many people were surprised the Spurs would even trade a valuable veteran when they were trying to win a championship. But who did they trade him for? Kawhi Leonard. A pretty good deal.
Well, you know, Hill is really solid. He knocks down open shots, can run the offense or play off the ball equally well. I think he's a terrific combo guard. Gives you a little bit of everything and does it in a professional way. And that's typically what attracts him to other teams.
Pacers trail by 7. Out to the right wing. Leans. Pick up by Hill. And it's Hill. That time the assist by Hill. And that's now 10 points for Hill.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Now here's Ross. 12 points for him. Kicks it to Joseph. Patterson, the screen. The 11-footer over Hill. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Patterson's got his second basket of the game.
A chance here to go 2 for 1.
Boy, they've got to ramp up the speed and make it happen in a hurry.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Pick up by Hill. Hill dishes to Stuckey. Good, the assist goes to Hill. Stuckey's got his first 3 points of the game.
There's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes in this defense.
No doubt the defense had better play a little tighter.
Ross kicks to Johnson. But they recover it. Biombo. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Raptors lead by 3. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin and Dwayne. A very tight game here. What's the number one thing you need to do in the second half to try to get out ahead and break this thing open?
Well, number one is we got to make sure we get in a defensive disposition. You know, right now we're kind of trading buckets. We're anticipating, putting them on the foul line. So we got to play from an anticipatory style of defense, whereas we're not reacting to where they have us on our heels.
Coach, thanks for the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And an exciting time of the year as the first game of the regular season is halfway through. The first quarter for the Raptors was fairly even. The biggest lead of the quarter was only 3 points as they traded baskets back and forth. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. And taking a look at the Raptors, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. The 3 E's, Shaq. That's all I got to say. They've avoided turning the basketball over, and that's a recipe for success. Now, here's how they do it. By sacrificing the highlight reel plays, you get good looks, and those home run plays will still come.
Shaq, your take on Indiana.
They played some solid team basketball, Ernie. Pretty good. They were sharing the ball. We saw some nice feeds, a lot of movement. It wasn't 5 individuals out there. It was one cohesive unit and they got the assist to show for it. Their rhythm was nice.
And that'll wrap up our halftime show. The third quarter set to go moments from now. We will be right back here after the game.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. A fantastic game from DeMar DeRozan so far.
And he just went off in those first two quarters, guys. He's capable of doing that on a consistent basis as well. So we might see some changes from a defensive standpoint as they try to disrupt his rhythm in the second half.
You know, guys, I think you've got to make some sort of change. I mean, they can't let him continue to torch him up like he has been.
On the court for Indiana, they've got Paul George. Turner is out there with Allen. Then it's George Hill, and it's Ellis in at the 2 spot.
Beautiful shot that time by PG, Paul George, getting it done.
And the Raptors have been talking about changing things up in the logo department for a while. Finally, we get a chance to see the new logo this season.
Pacers trail by 3. He feeds it to Ellis. Lowry against Hill. Indiana moving it around. Here's George. Clock at 4. And it's George again missing.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Outside Lowry. The pass to DeRozan. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. And now a 5-point Toronto lead. Indiana's gone 6 of 11 when they've taken the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. Now the feed to Valanciunas. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That's on Monte Ellis.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
And though he's been working on his offensive skills, defense and rebounding are Valanciunas' bread and butter. That was the case with him when he was playing in Lithuania, Clark, and it's the case now.
It still sure is the case. I mean, it's hard to find a guy with his combination of size, athleticism, and fluidity. Just a tad over-aggressive at times, but I'd rather have to turn a guy down than to turn him up.
Valanciunas hits them both.
And watching Valanciunas rebound, it's clear he has all the tools. Great anticipation, really looks to box out. Strong vertical, might just need to add some strength to become a perennial 10-rebound-a-game guy.
Now here's Ellis. 11 points in the game.
And for Valanciunas, he's been working on his defensive consistency. Last year, he actually increased his blocks per game while lowering his fouls per game. That's a big step forward in his development.
For Indiana, they have shot a good percentage from the free throw line so far. They've made 5 out of 6. And he hits the first of 3.
What a game for Ellis. He has 12 points, and he's got 2 baskets from out in three-point land.
And I'm sure they'd like to get a few more of those out of him.
And he's good on the second. Well, the one word you can use to describe the Raptors postseason last year, disaster. I mean, Greg, nothing went right for him.
Yeah, I mean, after that great regular season, they were completely just manhandled by the Wizards, swept out of the first round in 4 straight.
And he nails the third.
Well, I tell you, the Raptors really were befuddled with how that series went. I mean, they just never got things going and became the first team to get swept with home court advantage in the playoffs since 2011.
And it's DeRozan missing.
There's no getting around the simple fact that that's a shot he has to knock down.
From downtown, and the Pacers can't get it to go. Toronto leading by 4. Here's Lowry, and Turner with the block. It's stolen by DeRozan, and Carroll gets it to go.
His shooting has been outstanding here. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game. And guys, you look at the Raptors last season and how they stumbled at times. You could see that they would have trouble in the postseason with the way they were constructed. I don't think anybody saw a sweep coming, but that's what it ended up being.
Now here's Turner. Here's George. And that one comes up a bit short.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
A baseline J, and Carroll gets it to go. And now an 8-point Raptor lead.
And just solid play out of them that time. And for Louis Scola, a very different role for him over the last 2 years. I mean, he was a starter for most of his career. Then signed with Indiana, who had David West at the 4. Off the bench, though, Scola still played efficiently, but he was just used to putting up much bigger numbers for other teams.
Here's Hill after Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. Turner with a screen for George. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. Scola with the rebound. Scola's got his 8th rebound here tonight.
Ooh, and this is turning into a slow start here in the second half. Seems like they left that offense in the locker room.
Screened by Valanciunas. Carroll, no one around him. Pacers with the rebound. And here is Ellis. He's got 14, and the basket by Hill.
Man, that is not an easy shot right there. I mean, he had to get it off over a much taller defender.
Yeah, he needed to add just a little more loft on that one because of the size mismatch, and he did it perfectly.
And here's DeRozan. George Hill getting it to go from deep. They get the rebound. Second chance shot. And the shot is long.
He worked himself into a really good position there, right near the basket. That's the look he wanted.
Pass to Turner. Indiana moving it around. And Scola with the block. They retain possession. Ellis kicks to George. And he's back in business as a jumper finally drops for him. Now just a 3-point Toronto lead. The Raptors have gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. Now Lowry, 5 points in the game. Here's DeRozan. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Lowry's got 10 assists here tonight. So active. Outside Hill. To the paint, Turner. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
Well, they certainly didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Yeah, and that's important because this game may ultimately come down to which team controls the paint in crunch time.
Now here is Lowry. Pass to Carroll. Back to Lowry. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
And for Kyle Lowry, last season was full of milestones. First, he signs the big contract extension for 4 years. Then he earns his first ever All-Star selection. Unfortunately, he didn't finish as strong with the postseason, but a terrific year.
He's off on the first. And on the topic of Lowry, he became only the 3rd Toronto Raptor ever, Clark, to be voted into the All-Star game.
Yeah, you know, Bosch and Vinsanity, the other two. Lowry also participated in the All-Star Weekend Skills Challenge. Man, he's been outstanding as a point guard.
And a tenacious leader for the Raptors. Yeah. Good on the second free throw. Everyone knows about the Paul George injury from last year and how it affected the Pacers. He said almost the entire season, and there was no doubt they missed him.
Yeah, and when George came back, Kevin, the Pacers got hot, but they had to put him on a minutes limit. And it wasn't just George, though. The team as a whole had a lot of injuries during the course of the season. Taking a look now at some numbers for Lowry. Last year, getting it done. Last season put up about 17 points per, 6 assists and 4 rebounds. Backup point guard, always an important position, and he fills that role beautifully.
Yep, without a good floor conductor coming off the bench, your offense can quickly grow stagnant. He solves that problem.
Now here's Valanciunas. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. And Carroll gets it to go.
And, you know, as you said, the Pacers did have problems with injuries. The team roster missed 219 games due to injury. So compare that to the 69 games missed by the Pacers in 2014. Big difference.
And really, guys, the most telling part of the Pacers' injury troubles was this. Had to use 15 different starting lineups over the course of the season. Just hard to stay consistent and competitive when you are always replacing an injured player in the lineup.
And guys, what do you think about the hustle stats here for the Raptors?
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
Something that's also benefited them tonight are the turnovers they've forced and the points that have come along with those forced turnovers.
Mahinmi's checked in for Turner.
And one bright note for the Pacers last season was the play of their bench. Adding Rodney Stuckey was a huge boost for them.
To the inside, here's Allen. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. They get Luis Stoll. He led the charge for the Pacers bench, Greg, as you were talking about, but all around the reserves, Clark, were fantastic on the Pacers.
Yes, third in the league at almost 41 points per game off the bench, first in the NBA in bench rebounding, and top 10 in field goal percentage as a bench.
Solomon Hill, he's checked in for the Pacers. In the last few years, the Toronto fans have made a strong case for being the loudest in the league, and Greg, you know, the Air Canada Center can sound like a 60,000 capacity crowd during the playoffs.
It is really unreal. It gives the Raptors a huge advantage here at home. Toronto and Canada will always be hockey first, but they love their Raptors here in the North.
For three, Ellis cannot hit. Good work defensively by Lowry. Feeds it to Carroll. From the baseline, no luck, and Indiana will go the other way with it.
You know, the Raptors were top 5 in attendance last season as well. I mean, fans had plenty to cheer about as the team finished with 27 home wins on the year.
Lowry passes to DeRozan. He kicks it to Valanciunas. Carroll with it. 14 points for him. Passes it to Lowry. Wants to get it to DeRozan and does. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. And that's now 20 points for DeMar DeRozan.
And the Raptor franchise record for home wins is 30, set back in 07. And you get the feeling with the way the crowd gets into it, that record won't stand much longer.
Now here is George. 14 points for him.
Hey, I like creativity and a circus finish as much as anybody. But you better be sure you got a chance to make it.
The drive by Lowry. It's stolen by Mahinmi. The dish now to Hill. All sorts of time. Rebounded by Valanciunas. Valanciunas has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And it's DeRozan missing.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
Ellis dishes to Mahinmi. Sinks that one from the post. Toronto with the ball. A 2-point game. Timeout. Toronto calls timeout. And it's a completely new group for Toronto. Then for the Pacers. Hill, he's checked in for Allen. C.J. Miles comes in for George. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for Monte Ellis. And the Raptors with the ball. Johnson the screen. Ross in the corner. Shot off the pick. And he hits the jump shot. Ross has got 14 points.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Stuckey kicks to Miles. Here's Mahinmi. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. With this break in the action, we can show you the teams that had the most rebounds last season. The Pacers in 5th.
It was really an impressive campaign for their bigs. And honestly, I think the whole team did a great job of getting bodies on bodies and controlling that defensive backboard.
The first free throw is good. Mahimi hits them both. Now here's Ross. He's got 14. He dishes it to Patterson. Johnson sends the screen for Patterson. Patterson, the screen, and the jam by Ross.
And how about the execution on that play? The screen was set up in exactly the right spot.
And the finish wasn't too bad either.
Perfectly designed and perfectly executed.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Now here's Joseph. Defense is right there. Johnson outside. Dishes it to Patterson. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. Patterson, the screen. Just 5 to shoot. The baseline J. Shot by Joseph. No good.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
That's good. Hill's got his second bucket.
C.J. Miles.
Raptors with the lead. Here's Joseph. He's got 5. Kicks to Patterson. Shoots the 3. That drops. Patterson's got 7 points.
The D just sagged off just enough and no hesitation on his part.
And what Patrick Patterson gives you guys is solid all-around play. He can help you in a lot of areas. High basketball IQ, high character, understands his role, knows his limitations, and stays within himself.
Toronto leading by 5. And here is Joseph. Kicks it out to Johnson. Offensive rebound. Biombo, no luck.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Joseph with the ball. Picked up by Stuckey. Johnson, the pass to Patterson. He feeds it to Joseph. He kicks it to Johnson. Ross on the wing. He's guarded by Hill. Back to Johnson. Lots of room. Buries the jump shot. Johnson's got his first basket. Here's Stuckey. The pass to Hill. They get a hand on it, and out of bounds as Toronto gains possession.
How about a look at the Pacers and where they ranked in the NBA last season? 3rd in opponent field goal percentage, 4th in opponent points per game, and they also showed up in the top 5 in team rebounds. That means everybody's doing their job on the boards. This is a very strong rebounding team.
And you mentioned their ranking in terms of opponent field goal percentage. Such an important stat. They did not give up the easy looks. You really had to work for whatever you got.
No good from Ross.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
And the shot is good. The Raptor lead has been cut to just 5 on the basket from Miles.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
Now here's Joseph. He's guarded by Stuckey. And Joseph kicks to Ross. Biombo down low. Ross with room to shoot. It's off. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Toronto ahead. They're up by 5. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. Pacers trail by 5. The star pair of Lowry and DeRozan are the guards. Patterson is the 4 with Valanciunas in the middle. And it's Carroll in at the 3 slot. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Now here is Hill.
And that 4th foul, guys, might force him to scale back the aggression from a defensive standpoint. He does not need, nor does the team need, number 5.
The Pacers making a switch here. Allen's checked in. So it's the Pacers now. Hill dishes to Turner. Hill passes to Turner. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Ellis, that's good.
Big time bucket there, and you can expect to see him stay very involved the rest of the way.
Lowry kicks to DeRozan. The feed now to Valanciunas. The rebound by Turner. Indiana trailing here. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
The Raptors making the switch here. Scola's checked in. Toronto's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. Lowry kicks to Carroll. Scola, a screen on George. Here's Carroll, and he overdid it there. Too much force, it looked like, on the foul, and he's called for the flagrant.
And Kevin, I got to tell you, he's probably fortunate to just get a flagrant one there. I mean, so much contact. The officials easily could have gone even harder on it.
Greg, I agree. He'd better be on his best behavior from now on. One more flagrant of any variety, and he's out of here. Well, I'm sure you guys have heard this, that the nickname that has been given to DeMar Carroll, the Junkyard Dog, I think it's apropos. Kid drafted out of Missouri back in the 2009 draft.
Yeah, and he actually had to show perseverance to hang around as he bounced around a bit. But I think he's found a home now.
It's DeRozan with the drive. And it's good. And it's a 7-point Raptor lead.
They ran that inbounds play perfectly there to get the quick hitter.
Ellis, the pass to Allen. And it's thrown down hard with both hands.
Superb playmaking from Monte Ellis. That dish was right on time.
Here's Lowry.
And Carroll, an energy player who's developed a reliable three-point stroke. I mean, he can also hurt you in transition. He's got terrific size and athleticism, and he also really knows how to play without the basketball.
Now here's Carroll to the inside. Here's Valanciunas. It's rebounded by Indiana. Turner's got rebound number 5 here tonight. It's stolen by Valanciunas. One-on-one here. Here's DeRozan. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And there's a call. It's on Indiana with the foul.
And Carroll, by advanced stats, one of the most productive small forwards in our league. I mean, one thing I like, even as he's developed into a three-point threat, he still has an instinct for cutting to the rim off the ball when his defender turns his head. I mean, one of the things I think that allows his team to be so good is his understanding of how to play the game.
Just a fantastic game for DeRozan. He's got 24 points and also 3 nice steals. He's a one-man wrecking crew out there.
Truly, they have no answer for him at all.
Hill kicks to Turner. It's stolen by Carroll. DeRozan against Hill. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. And that's now 26 points for DeMar DeRozan. Pacers trail by 9. Pass to Hill. Puts up a 3. Good work defensively by Lowry. The Raptors have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Clock at 6. Here's DeRozan. The shot is off. Ellis with some nice D.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Allen, that's good.
There's PG creating for a teammate. Terrific dime drop.
Raptors leading by 7. Now Lowry. Screened by Valanciunas. Here's Scola. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. 6 points for Luis Scola.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Hill dishes to Ellis. Hill up top. While recovering, Turner. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two. It's on Jonas Valanciunas.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
At the line for the Raptors, Miles Turner, taking 2 shots.
And that one falls for Turner. He doesn't get the second one. Raptors have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. And DeRozan. Here we go. The shot by Carroll, no good. Pacers trail by 8. Here's Allen. Poke loose. Carroll with it. Now here is Lowry. Here's DeRozan. Accurate with the jumper from the elbow. DeRozan's got 28 points for the game.
They're spraying them home from mid-range today, guys.
Finding the gaps in the defense and really just slicing and dicing them right now.
Now here's Allen. Excellent D there for Scola.
How about him there just bodying him up to make him alter the trajectory on that shot?
Definitely some very sound defense played on that trip.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
Scola with it. Defended by Allen. Here's Lowry. And the foul on Miles Turner. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And in today's NBA, it's all about spacing on offense. It used to be more about finding matchups to exploit. Now it is all about opening up great looks by spreading the floor.
There's the pick. Toronto working the ball around now. Scola passes to DeRozan. Feeds it to Carroll. Ellis against DeRozan. Carroll kicks to Valanciunas. The wide open look here for DeRozan. And the dunk by Valanciunas.
And Kevin, plays like that are really the reason they've got a nice lead right now. Just a great job on the glass.
And Greg, the jam and the follow gets their whole bench jumping. Clark, look at them. They are really into it.
Yeah, they sure are. That's a little salt in the wound there. I mean, they take a miss and turn it into one of the plays of the game. That hurts.
And with great spacing in the NBA, you need great shooting. More than ever, shooting and spacing, Clark, are at a premium in the NBA for teams.
Yeah, well, it starts with point guards being able to break down defenses and get into the lane to create open shots. You want to be able to create space for the point guards to drive, so you need shooters on the wings.
I mean, if you're looking to get back into this game, you have to get tougher defensively.
The drive by Hill. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
Lowry kicks to Scola. Screened by Valanciunas. Good work defensively by Turner.
And that's the way you want to defend. Nice job there.
Always important to have that good interior defense.
Toronto leading by 12. Outside Lowry. A 3-ball. They get it back. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Hill and the rejection by Valanciunas. Down low. Score the basket. His 8 for 13 from the floor.
That's what they're hanging their hat on today, fellas. Hard-nosed, smash-mouth play down on the low block.
Old-fashioned, isn't it, my man? Old-fashioned. Pound the rock basketball, and it is definitely working for them.
Now here's Ellis. Takes a shot at the elbow. That doesn't go either for Allen.
High-quality shot, just a little off there with the release.
And, Greg, that has him S-H-H-ing, shaking his head. Tough miss that time.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screen play. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
And the lead continues to increase. They are just playing flawless basketball at both ends.
Greg, I can't identify an area where this team has underperformed. I mean, they've been 5-star in every category.
Here's Allen after Luis Scola's score. George, no good. And DeRozan, here we go. To the paint, it's tipped. Tries to save it. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
Now here's Ellis. Jonas Valanciunas unable to get his shot to go.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
And it's sent back by George. Mahinmi's checked in for Turner.
Checking in for the Pacers, Ian Mahinmi.
Lowry has the open look. And the Raptors miss again.
Well, it's just been one of those kind of games for him.
And George kicks to Mahinmi. And it's blocked by DeRozan. Here is Lowry. DeMar DeRozan on the wing. And the foul on Jonas Valanciunas. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's his second personal foul.
And here are the Pacers now. They trail by 18. It's George on the wing. Connects from three-point range. George has got 9 points here in the second half.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
Valanciunas sets a screen for Lowry. And Lowry gets double-teamed. Valanciunas dishes to Scola. Raptors moving the ball around. 4 on the clock. It's DeRozan with the drive. Pacers with the rebound. At the elbow, it's Allen. Here's George. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. George has got 5 points now this quarter. Raptors leading by 13.
Toronto with the timeout.
And the Raptors call time here.
You know, and Paul George played the first few years of his career in the NBA with 24 on his back. And as you can see, he now goes with 13 after making the switch prior to last year.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, Kevin, Dwayne Casey was just going over the plan with his team. He laid one thing out there for them, saying, now is the time to eliminate any chance of a mistake. We've got a good lead. Don't take any unnecessary risks or commit a silly foul. Smart basketball from here on out.
Thank you, Doris. And with Paul George going with the number 13 now, as you can see, helps with his nickname, PG-13.
Yeah, that's a good nickname, a nice fit. Young Tracy, as he likes to go by on Twitter, he said himself that it was about embracing his stature and stardom in the league. Nice way to do it.
Pacers trail by 15. Ellis goes in. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Yeah, nice, strong finish there. Nearly a three-point opportunity.
Full throttle, pedal to the metal, attacking basketball. I like that.
And Ellis drops them both. And Toronto has possession. 1:27 left here in the fourth quarter. Allen against Scola. Screened by Valanciunas. Scola kicks to DeRozan. Pass to Valanciunas. Pacers with the rebound. Mahinmi's got his 4th rebound in this one.
And so only one team answered the bell tonight, guys. Not a monster blowout by any means, but still a double-digit victory for the Raptors.
The coaching staff must be happy that they controlled their turnovers so well in this game.
Yeah, I like the discipline, the self-control, and the patience, Kevin.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And it will be a fight, Greg. When you see an opponent that many times, it's inevitable that those games take on a little extra added meaning for the players.
A good win, and a lot went into it, but I just like the showing for DeRozan. He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot heat.
The shot by Lowry, no good. Passes to George. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist.
Assisted, George Hill.
17 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Out to the right wing. Back to Lowry. Screen by Scola. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
They certainly put on a good show here at home, and I think they felt they had the edge and that extra little bit of confidence.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Thank you, Kevin. Kyle, you were able to impact this game on both sides of the ball, making some nice passes, playing good defense. How did you feel about your game?
I just want to stop the basket. I want to do anything it takes to win, help my team win. Tonight, we passed the ball. My shot wasn't falling, but, I had too many turnovers, but I passed the ball well, and we got the win. That's all that matters.
Kyle, thank you. Kevin, it's not only about the offense.
Doris, thank you as always. And that'll do it for the first game of the NBA season. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our entire 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. And we'll see you next time. But first, the post-game show with Ernie Johnson just a few aisles above us.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, DeMar DeRozan. He had just an outstanding. He really had the fire lit under him, and down the stretch, really having a huge impact on the outcome of this game.
They kept feeding him the basketball, and he did not disappoint. For the guys guarding him, it was a long, long night. As he pushed his point totals in the 30s, he got more and more determined. Great effort.
Well, DeRozan is capable of just going off on any night. His leadership, though, that sets him apart right there. DeMar leads by example, and his team feeds off that good energy.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.